No one likes to talk about money. Am I saving enough? Can I buy a house? Am I paying too much in taxes? Will I be able to retire? What if you could unlock insights about your finances in less than 5 minutes with a clear picture of where you stand today and where your money can work harder? Now you can. Visit Facet.com to take the free quiz and get your financial wellness score today. That's FACET.com. This ad is sponsored by Facet. Facet Wealth Incorporated is an SEC-registered investment advisor. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor is it investment, legal, or tax advice.
He'll forget about the video game you gave him on his birthday.
Wow! Thanks, Grandpa!
But he'll never forget how you invested in his future with the UNest app.
Wow. Thanks, Grandpa.
The UNest app makes it easy for grandparents and family friends to give funds to a child's investment account for a limited time. Download the UNest app and use the code IHEART50 at sign-up to receive a $50 bonus when you fund your account. That's code IHEART50 when you sign up at unest.co for a $50 bonus. See terms and conditions at unest.co.
Hello. From Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month, we're talking about folk heroes, women whose lives and stories took on mythic proportions. In the 13th century, medieval fraternities and monasteries were alive with whispers of an unusual woman. Her story was written in the margins of manuscripts, a woman who disguised herself as a man and ascended the church's ranks to the role of pope without suspicion. That is, until her ruse reached an abrupt and upsetting end. Let's talk about Pope Joan. The story you're about to hear is just one version of the stories that might have been floating around those fraternities and monasteries. It starts like this. Joan, or perhaps Agnes, or maybe even Gilberta, was likely born in what's called Mainz in present-day Germany, to a pair of English parents in the 9th century. When she came of age, she fell in love with an English monk. She loved him so much she was willing to do whatever it took to be by his side. When he left Germany for Athens, Joan dressed as a man so she could travel with him safely. The couple reached their destination, and Joan continued to disguise herself as a man and studied the sciences. Later, the couple found their way to Rome. By this time, Joan, who was now known as a man named Johannes, had become a proficient scholar. Eventually, Johannes ascended to the role of cardinal, a senior member of the clergy and one of the principal counselors of the Catholic Pope. Not long after that, Johannes became the Pope under the regnal name Pope John VIII. Joan had reached the highest honor in the Catholic Church without anyone uncovering her true identity as a woman. That lasted for a few years until one day when Johannes led a procession from St. Peter's Basilica to the Church of St. John Lateran and went into labor. Joan tried to mount a horse and ended up collapsing in the middle of the street from labor pains. The jig was up. The crowd was shocked and alarmed. This was scandalous for two reasons. The Pope couldn't be a woman, and the Pope certainly couldn't be a pregnant woman, one who wasn't practicing celibacy. By some accounts, the crowd was so angry about her true identity, they struck her with stones and killed her. Other accounts claim she died due to complications from childbirth. According to that version of the legend, she was buried on that very spot, and for years after, papal processions avoided that street out of disgrace for Joan's deceit of the church. For hundreds of years, Joan's story went untold. It was as if the Catholic Church had struck her from their records. Then, in the 13th century, a mention of Joan appeared in a manuscript. The scandalous story spread from there. Throughout the next 200 years, Joan's image was immortalized in paintings and tarot cards. According to some sources, you could even briefly find her bust in a cathedral in Siena, Italy. These days, most historians say Joan's reign was completely fabricated. But her story reveals deeper truths about the Catholic Church and its stance on gender throughout history. Some historians believe the rumor of Joan could have been started by a critic of the Church, knowing it would hate the idea of a female pope staining its history. Others speculate the rumor could have originated from misinterpreted descriptions of a real, effeminate but male, Pope John. Joan's ascension to popess would be a scandal even today, as the Catholic Church traditionally allows only men to be ordained. So Joan's tale persists as a shocking and exciting example of a woman climbing the ranks of power in a male-dominated society. All month, we're talking about folk heroes. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you tomorrow.
How long was Neil Armstrong actually on the moon? When did Europe start speaking English? Did Marco Polo really go to China? CuriosityStream is the streaming service for all things history, plus science, wildlife, and more. What's the real story behind the Mona Lisa? We've got that. What caused the collapse of Rome? We know. Where did we find mankind's earliest ancestor? Come find out. From Egypt to Einstein, CuriosityStream is the place for history. With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find one for you at curiositystream.com.
You know, there are some things in life you just can't trust, like a free couch on the side of the road, or the sushi rolls from your local gas station, or when your kid says they don't need the bathroom before the road trip. But there are some things in life you can trust, like the HP Smart Tank printer. With up to 2 years of ink included and outstanding print quality, you can rely on the HP Smart Tank printer from HP, America's most trusted printer brand.
The Children of Heroes Charity Fund needs your help to support the thousands of Ukrainian children who've lost one or both parents due to the Russian invasion. A monthly donation of just $12 can provide medical insurance for a child who has lost a parent. To donate, visit childrenheroes.org/help. That's childrenheroes.org/help. Children of Heroes. Urgent help for Ukrainian children today for a brighter tomorrow.